we kind of have an opportunity to manage in the beginning of class. When I say invite you to set an intention, like if your intention is to rest, to heal, then that should, or such as should, could influence how you approach this class. If you're trying to rest and we're flowing through sun salutations and chaturangas and doing all of these like powerful lunges, you know, maybe just instead of like being up in a highland, coming down, lowering your back knee so it's less intense. If we're in chair poses the whole time, like maybe you're just in tadasana, mountain pose. Like there's just ways that you can alter it so that it still feels more restful and restorative for like what you need. Alternately, if you're feeling like you need a challenge, you need like maybe like a workout, whatever it may be, then instead of just doing 2 chaturangas with us all class, you know, do 10 push-ups on your way down. You know, instead of doing tiger's pose on your way up from downward facing dog to forward fold, why don't you work on your handstand by doing some hop-ups? So if you've been practicing for a long time, you probably know what these alternative options are and you know how to level it up and make it harder for yourself. But sometimes it can be not intuitive to know how to like bring it down and alter it. So I've been loving that you guys have been texting me and asking me questions behind the scenes on how to personalize the class to work for you. So please keep doing that. I'll do my best to answer them, even though I can't physically see your body. I have a pretty good idea of what you're working with. So everything that I lead you through here is an invitation. Good morning, Oya Hydrangea. Oh, the jellyfish. Are those jellyfish? They look like jellies. I love it. Welcome, welcome. Just in time. So everything that I lead you through is an invitation. I am just your excuse to show up at your mat. Listen to my cues to the best of your ability when it comes to alignment. Otherwise, definitely make the class work for you and your body. You know what it feels like. I'm avoiding sharp pain, working to ease chronic pain, and eliminate it, and just feel good in our bodies. So let's get started with our grounding meditation. Better? Better. Okay. So we're going to come to a comfortable seat. Okay. Either seated on the floor, I like sitting in Sukhasana with my legs crossed, or in chairs just fine. Chest over hips, head over heart. I'm going to take a moment to silence all the things. Give yourself a couple moments here, a couple minutes here of just uninterrupted breathing. Hands come to rest on the lap, either palms down to ground down, or palms up to give and receive energy if you feel you've got a little extra to give. Eyes can close if that's comfortable for you, or lower to a soft gaze just beyond your legs. We'll start with 3 cleansing breaths. In through the nose, shoulders rise up towards the ears. And on the exhale, an audible sigh out as the shoulders drop away. And allowing the breath to continue just in and out through the nose if that's available. Let's take a moment here just to arrive. Let go of everything that came before. and everything that's to come up after. Just become present to yourself here in this room, here in this moment. And beginning to allow sounds into your awareness. Perhaps the sound of passing traffic or falling rain outside your window. And the sound of dogs or roommates shuffling in the room next door. Allowing all sounds in, all part of this moment, this experience. And notice the temperature of the air on your skin. And the weight where your body makes contact with the ground below you. The weight of your hands on your knees. And begin to scan your body from head down towards toes. Like an X-ray machine scanning, checking in for any places of tightness or sensitivity, any restlessness or fidgeting. Just taking note to work into these places that call out for your attention during our practice here today. We'll shift this awareness from Annamaya Kosha, the body, up to Pranamaya Kosha, our energy. Notice in this moment on a scale of 1 to 10 where you're at energetically. 1 being exhausted, fatigued, ready to crawl into bed. 10 being so full of energy it's hard to sit still. And shifting the awareness to the breath, just observing, no need to change it. And awareness up to Manomaya Kosha, the mind. Allowing thoughts and feelings to freely arise and bubble up. No need to engage with them. Observe these thoughts, these emotions from a distance. Like an image being projected onto a screen, the story will go on. Just notice, what are the quality of the thoughts today? Do they have a positive or negative tilt to them? Are they ruminating on the past or attempting to predict the future? Not right or wrong, not good or bad, just something to notice. We bring the awareness back down to the breath. This time actively expanding the breath. Every inhale sips in a little more air. And every exhale lets something more go. Inhale fills belly like a balloon inflating, the belly expands. Exhale releases belly button in towards spine, deflating. Inhale fills belly and ribs with air, ribs expanding out to the sides. Exhale, releasing ribs and belly. Inhale fills belly, ribs, and chest. Air filling all the way up to the collarbones. Exhales, release chest, ribs, belly. I'm using muscles to pull it in, to squeeze it out, to deflate. And likewise, muscles to expand. And continue like this at your own breath pace. Inhaling from bottom to top in 3 parts. And exhaling top to bottom. Or Dirga Pranayam, 3-part breath. Stay seated up tall on your seat, no slouching, no leaning forward, heart over hips. Space between the teeth as the jaw hangs heavy, no furrowing the eyebrows. And this 3-part breath, this Dirga Pranayam, helps calm the body out of sympathetic fight or flight mode into parasympathetic rest and digest. A calming agent for the nervous system. And feel free to come back to this breath at any point during our practice. Your next exhale, just release any effort from the breath, returning to a normal pace, perhaps slightly deepened or slowed down from that practice. Just notice that. And hands come to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra, no space between the fingers, and the thumbs press into the sternum. Consider here setting an intention or a dedication for your practice. It might be the sankalpa that you've been working with all month, or something new might inspire you in this moment. And we'll seal that intention with the sound of Om. You're invited to chant along with me, of course. First, a cleansing breath. Hands release down to the lap, chin drops towards chest. And then an inhale, right ear rolls over right shoulder. Exhaling, chin to chest and left ear towards left shoulder. So allow the head to roll side to side at your own breath space. M9 easy, arriving now. Did you arrive exactly when I said let's just take a moment to arrive? Because that is expert timing, my friend. Welcome to class. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. So we're just beginning to open up the sides of the neck here. And then extend the head rolls through center. We'll bring it up to neutral. Just begin to roll the shoulders forward. The eyes can stay closed for this, you know, how to roll your shoulders. Really tuning into any places that called out for your attention. So likely culprits for me when I'm doing a body scan is tension in my neck and shoulders. That's why I'm always harping on neck resiliency stuff. So this is like your first opportunity to address that and give your neck or your shoulders some love if they're the ones that called out for you, right? And we'll just roll the shoulders back. Or it might be an upper back thing that called out. This is a great place to start to address that. So we're just learning we're opening up communication to talk to our own bodies. And just hear what it's got to say, and then educate ourselves in a way and how we can physically move to alleviate what pains and ails us. So we're not just hearing like, oh, I hear that you hurt. That's like an amazing first step. Then step 2 is, okay, what can I do so we can work together? Yeah, it's like a shoulder massage. Yeah, it's an internal, almost like an internal massage, right? All right, let's come to stillness here. And we'll work on, I want to do more neck stuff today. I always want to do more neck stuff, but it's Friday. We're going to work on our feet today. So instead, let us inhale, arms sweep up overhead. And exhale, bend over to the right. Left arm reaches over. On the breath, in and out. And out to bend. So I press down and away on the ground here to really open up all these intercostal muscles. That's like the meaty part between your ribs. We're just like opening that up. It's like, why would you want to do that? It's going to give you more space for your breath. So your ribs, almost like an accordion, right, get to expand. The more they expand, the more flexibility you have in that rib cage, the more air you're going to be able to fit inside. Which, you know, who doesn't want to be able to take deeper breaths? All right, back at center, we reach arms up overhead. Exhaling, twist to the right. Left hand lands on top of right knee, chest opens towards the side wall. So if you have lower back stuff going on, if your lower back called out to you during that body scan, we're just going to ease into the twist, nice and gentle. The more gentle you ease into it, the better it's going to feel, and the less it's going to feel like you're straining the lower back. That way, you know, Supta Matsyendrasana, our laying down twist at the very end that we always get to. Is my favorite like restorative pose. So we always do it, no matter what the beginning of class looks like. That way, that can be the most healing, the most beneficial, because the body's been like prepping since minute 3 for it, you know. All right, I'm just going to meet back in center, bend the elbows, shake out the hands, or wave out the hands, I should say. Play piano, so elbows aren't moving. Just my wrists are going to the full range of motion, left and right. Fingers wiggling, just warming up the ligaments and the tendons. Yeah. And then toss pizzas. Hands are pressing back as far back as they can go. Fingers spread wide. We're still breathing. shake out water. For 3, 2, 1. Okay, we'll bring the legs out in front. Slippers off. Okay. And spread and let's do this. This and this. Yep. Better? Better. Spread and scrunch the toes. Roll out the ankles. Just wake up the lower legs here. Change directions. It's also a lot of what we do is a massage for your organs. So all of this stuff in here, all this twisting and kind of contorting and whatnot. So I had somebody who takes class regularly mention, like, speaking about their digestive, the things going on with their digestion halfway through class. And I'm like, yeah, that's actually pretty normal. All right, let's bend the knees. Feet come nice and wide, and we're just dropping the knees side to side. The knees are far enough, feet are far enough apart that the knee lands on the ground, not on the other leg, right? And he's like, what is going on? Like, what is wrong with me? I'm like, nothing's wrong with you. We're just like twisting and literally giving our organs an internal massage. So that's gonna open some stuff up for you. And I don't even, maybe emotionally, sure, but definitely physically, like guaranteed physically. Everything else is just like very personal to each person, right? So let's cross this left leg in first. So the right foot is out in front. We're gonna work on, get a little closer. Yeah. I'm gonna work on some feet. So we're gonna like plantar fasciitis. Oh. All these like foot problems that show up for us. This is like to alleviate and help prevent that. So take your left hand, right foot's in front, left hand, into a fist, and we're going to use the knuckles on your hand to go from the heel all the way up to the toes in the foot. And I'm not using my arm strength, I'm not like punching my foot. I'm going to rock back and forth to use my own body weight. So whatever my strength is I'm just going to use gravity instead. That way, you'll create a shoulder issue while alleviating your foot issue. This is, yeah, like Swedish massage and stuff. Yeah. Massaging your soul and anxiety. Yeah. Something like that for sure. It's like, it's rainy here. It's very rarely rainy in San Diego, although here I'm probably jinxing it. We're gonna have like a record rainy year or something because I said that, but yeah, so it's just like kind of like a cozy gray morning. Okay. We're doing some self-care. If you got like a spot that's like knotted or like tender or sensitive, then you might just want to give a little extra attention to that spot. Yeah. All right. So you can do this anytime. You don't have to do it during a yoga class. You could literally do it when you're sitting on the couch watching Netflix or whatever you do with your life. You just cross your legs and just like massage the bottoms of your feet. That's a great start. Okay, next step. We're going to interlace the fingers with the toes. So starting with your pinky, stick it between your little pinky toe and that next little toe. Then ring finger, middle finger, index finger. So fingers are interlaced with my toes, and I'm squishing the webbing, middle part between my fingers towards the webbing of my feet. You know you've done it right because your index finger is between your big toe and your first little toe. You should try it before meditation. It's awesome, massaging your soul. I'm gonna, Alright, so now that you've got this interlace, it might feel painful for you. Like, it's okay. Like, we want to get to It's okay if you're like at like an 8 or a 9 in pain. You just don't want to be at like a it's taking my breath away, you know, kind of pain. No blacking out, right? Opposite hand comes underneath. And then we're going to use the hand to rotate the foot. Or rotate the ankle. So if it's just relaxed and I'm just rotating the ankle here, don't lose the grip. Change directions. Start opening up the space between all the bones, metatarsals in the foot. So any clicking or cracking, that's just fine. Or just noticing it's not good or bad. Like, I'm the most crackly person like I've ever met. So like it's okay. It's fine. I spoke to a chiropractor about it. Also agreed that it's fine as long as I'm not in pain. Okay, so here we are. Coming to stillness. We're going to squeeze the hand as hard as you can. So I'm squeezing my foot as hard as I can with my fingers. That's going to bring the spread even deeper into it. And I'm going to release, not the grip, but the squeeze, and squeeze my hand with my toes. So that's going to be like counterintuitive. Like some of you probably were like, as little kids, would try to like pick up pencils and stuff with your toes, and others of you are like, what the F are you talking about? Either way, just squeeze your hand with your toes. Scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. And then we're going to go back and forth. So releasing the grip on the hand, we're going to squeeze the toes with the hand. And going back and forth, you can connect it to your breath. One inhale can be toe squeeze, and then exhale can be hand squeeze. And you want this to be intense. So you really want to be going to your edge of discomfort here. Your edge of sensation, if you will. This is like undoing years and years of modern shoe wearing. Yeah? Alright. Last thing, squeeze the hand and the foot together at the same time. So we're squeeze, 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 tight, 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 tight. Not holding your breath. Keep deep breathing. Last deep breath here. And then gently take it out. Shake it out just a little bit. We're going to come into rock the baby pose. So I'm going to try to get my foot to the inside of this elbow. If you're already like, what the? Just put your hand here. And then we take the other arm around as well. So if your foot reaches to the inside, it's pressing against my bicep. Other hand comes around, and I'm grabbing. Alternately, one hand can be on the knee or the foot. And we're going to give it a little rock side to side. If to do that, this bottom leg has to come out, that's totally fine. We're just trying to stay up nice and tall to give a nice hip stretch here. We're just already in position to get into this next pose, so just taking advantage of that. Any like sticky points, just want to like breathe into them. Alright, we'll let that go. Shake out the leg. And then bring the right leg in so the left foot is out. So the opposite leg that you didn't work on yet. Make a fist with the right hand and using the second knuckles of your hand to work into the bottom of this foot. Hi, baby girl. So I'm just rocking back and forth using my own body weight and sway to put pressure. You can work more towards the inside, more towards the outer edge. Whatever's going to feel good for you. There's something like over 6,000 nerve endings in our feet. So it's really part of the central nervous system in a way, or in like 6,000 ways, I should say. And we don't, I think most people, or I should speak from, like really give feet the time of day. Like they're always like covered, or like you only pay attention when they like really hurt. They're just giving them some extra love. Alright, now we're going to come to the interlace. Fingers interlace with the toes. The pinky, so right hand, left foot. Pinky interlaces between the first little pinky toe and the next little toe. So on and so forth. You know you've done it right because your index finger is between your big toe, your first little toe. And you're pushing your hands in to get the webbing of your feet to get close to the webbing of your hands. We'll bring this up. Just using the other hand, I just hold it like this, but you can also use your hand. And here we're rotating the ankle. My foot's completely relaxed. I'm just using my hand to rotate the ankle. You might notice one side might be more clicky and crackly than the other, changing directions. So we're not just like running body diagnostics here, like always in class we're just like noticing, like, oh, like it's painful when I go in this direction, or I didn't know I had that like openness in the body in that place. So we're just always looking and noticing and just attempt, the invitation is to approach your body with a sense of wonder. Okay, so it's like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, now I know that. Not, oh, my body's terrible because this, that, and the other. Like, just let that go. Like, just practice letting that go in this space. Oh, I have a headache. Okay. There's no added meaning to that. It's just what's happening right now. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna squeeze the foot with the hand. And then squeeze the hand with the foot. That's the one that probably will feel weirdest to you or most intense, but really opening up these, I said metatarsals, the space between all the toes. All right, squeezing the hand with the foot. For alternating back and forth, you can go at your own breath's pace, which is a good reminder to keep breathing. As often when we are faced with something that's challenging or uncomfortable, we can hold our breath, which is not actually helping on any level. Physiologically, right? Annamaya kosha. Energetically, pranamaya kosha. Mentally, manamaya kosha, right? On no levels of our being is holding your breath helping when it's inadvertent. In February, March, we're going to work on some breath retention and expand our pranayama practice. All right, last thing, we're squeezing foot, squeezing hand, at the same time, tight, tight, tight. And then releasing it. We'll shake out. We're coming into rock the baby pose, trying to get the foot to the bicep. Instead of thinking getting it to the elbow, I think getting it to the bicep. Even if it doesn't reach, it might just reach the forearm. Like you might be here, kind of thing. That's all good. This arm reaches around as well. I sit up nice and tall, give myself a roll rock, side to side. Just waking up this left hip. And like I said, this bottom leg might need to come out in front to make that so. Come out halfway. Whatever works for you to give you stability so that the attention's not on this bottom foot. It's on this top hip. You got a sticking point, just staying there to breathe into it. Releasing through center, send the leg out, give it a shake. Awesome. All right, We're going to come to hands and knees for tabletop pose, facing the front of the mat. So I'm going to change lights, camera. Better? Better? I think it's better. Yeah. So, hands come underneath the shoulders, knees below hips for our tabletop pose. Let's just roll through, yeah. Inhaling through cow pose, belly drops, hips and chest rise. Exhaling through cat pose, rounding in the spine, chin tucks in towards chest. We just got a couple of rounds of here, so just begin to reconnect the speed of the body to the length of the breath. Back to center. We'll step the right foot between the hands and the left toes tuck under to bring some space back. So we're coming into a low lunge here, asana. Top of the feet presses, top of the foot presses into the ground, and then we'll come upright. You can bring the back knee a little bit in if you're feeling like there's pain in that back hip. We're gonna work on, I want to do this, yes, actually, arms sweep up overhead, deep breath in. And exhale, the hands come down to frame the foot. We'll open up the right hand. So same side as the front knee. This arm comes up, and I just want to work on a couple shoulder circles. So I'm just sweeping above and back. Just kind of looking for any clicks and cracks or any places of stuckness, or like if you get to a point you're like, I can't go any further, like that's something to notice. A little trick is your hand may have to turn the other direction, and that might open up the space in the shoulder for you to continue in a nice big circle. Often our bodies intuitively do that, but sometimes it just helps unlock. And then we're gonna just sweep forward. The right leg extends back, so I'm gonna shift my foot forward and bring my hips back for half split. So left knee stays over left hip, so left knee stays under left hip, and I'm just extending this front leg to give the back of the leg a stretch. Ardha Hanumanasana, giving the foot a windshield wiper left and right, left and right. It's okay if your knee isn't completely straight. We're working towards that, but working towards that means engaging the muscles around it, pressing the heel into the ground to drag the hips up and back to extend it. It does not mean pressing down on the knee with the hands, like ever. Yeah? This is so close to breakdance moves. Oh yeah? I don't think I'm cool enough to breakdance, but I appreciate the sentiment. We'll take a deep breath in. And just come to like a halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And then exhale as if my nose are gonna touch my toes, and it's just a fold forward. So it might be a lot less than this. You might be up here, and that's just fine. I just get to the point where I'm like, okay, the back of my leg is really talking to me, and I'm just gonna take a deep breath there in that position. And coming back onto tented fingertips, bend in the right knee, left toes tuck under, left foot steps up to meet right, and right foot steps back. Release the right knee to the ground, you can untuck the toes, find the spacing that works for you between front and back foot. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Left arm opens up to the side, and then we're just working on big circles in this direction. Once again, we're just waking up the shoulders. And then allow the hand to come down. Extend the left leg long. I bring my foot forward, and then as I square my hips, so as my right hip presses forward, left hip presses back, I press my heel strong into the ground so it has a grip, like some resistance, some friction, as my leg pulls back, and that's going to help straighten the leg out even more. Like I said, being mindful, because when you do feel a stretch here, you want it to be in the belly of the muscle. So that's like the fattest part of the muscle. I don't want to say the fattest part because it's muscle, not fat, but the largest part. I want to feel it in my calf instead of behind my knee. Hamstring, okay, but not on my knee. Like I can feel sensation in my knee, but if that's where all of the, like if I feel pain in it, just back off a little bit. Pressing forward and back with the left and right hip can also help kind of find a nice sweet spot here. And then I'm going to windshield wiper the foot side to side. So that's going to kind of encourage the hips to kind of give a little sway. We're just finding a little bit of that freedom here in Ardha Hanumanasana, half split pose. Coming to stillness and center, take a deep breath in, like a halfway lift on tented fingers. And exhale, folding forward, like a nose towards toes type movement. Once again, the hands are on the ground, they're not on the extended leg. And pressing it back up to tented fingers, bend in the left knee, right toes tuck under, just step it up to the left foot. Feet come nice and wide, like almost mat's distance apart, maybe mat's distance apart if you're tall. And come into ragdoll. Have hands on first. Alright, excellent. So, you can have the knees a little or a lot bent, give a head a nod yes. Give the head a shake no. You can grab opposite elbows to give yourself a rock side to side. We'll slowly come to stillness, releasing the arms, heel toe the feet in together. We'll roll it up one vertebra at a time, like half of a Jefferson curl. One part of your spine at a time. Arms are soft, head is heavy. It's the last thing to come up. Arms sweep up when you get there. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Chest can open up, little baby back bend, just from the shoulders up. Exhale, forward fold, soften the knees to protect the lower back. Inhale to a halfway lift, hands on shins, crown of the head towards the front of the room, tailbone towards the back. And exhale, hands down to the ground, right foot takes a giant step back. Gently release the right heel to the ground. Left knees over left ankle. If you were to draw a line straight back, the front heel would intersect the back arch. Then we were playing with this earlier with the arm circles. The right arm sweeps forward, up, and over. So we actually get to use momentum, yay, for once in class. Momentum is your friend. If you're like, no, then just press into the leg to come upright. We're getting our shoulders up over the hips. Hips are open to the long side of the mat, pressing into the pinky side edge of the back foot, into the heel of the front foot. We're not gripping with the toes. And the glutes are squeezed tight. So the hips are pressing forward, so tucking in, zipping in of the lower abs here. Arms come parallel to the ground. Warrior 2. So you're going to play with a new arm variation here. It's called cow-faced arms. The left arm reaches up towards the sky, and the right arm releases down. The left hand comes to the back of the head. And I'm pressing into the head to open the elbow out. So the elbow is now facing the same direction the hand was just facing before. Then the right elbow bends, and the back of the hand comes to my lower back, like a zigzag. Yeah? So from here, maybe this hand starts working its way up, and this hand starts working its way down. Maybe they even grab. If they grab, but your elbows have done this, press into your back to bring them back into alignment. So, not good. Good. Yeah? And if you're like, okay, I can grab, but I'm stuck here, then it's okay. And let it go. And just go to the point where you can keep yourself like between two panes of glass, elbows back, not hunching forward. Yeah? We've got, here we go. Awesome. So, whether you've got a grip with the fingers, whether you're pressing into the back, we're nice and strong here. That bend in the front knee, deep as ever, strong as ever, squeeze and glutes. Everything else that I had said before still applies now. We're in Warrior 2 with cow-faced arms. Okay, challenge here. We're going to come into reverse warrior without letting go of the arms. So it's a deep lateral bend. I'm really opening up this left side body, opening up all these intercostal muscles, right? And we're opening up so that we can breathe deeper in service of the deeper breath. We got one more breath here. Whew. And then we're going to back through center. Release the arms. Drop the left arm onto the knee, and the right arm reaches up and over. What do we got? Morning, peeps. Look at that cool shape. Oh, thanks. All right. So from here, we can play maybe dropping that bottom hand down to the ground. And by dropping, every time I say dropping, just like auto-correct it to say gently placing. Yeah, and I barely have any weight in this bottom hand, guys. I'm pressing my elbow into the knee's pressing back, so really the hand down is just bonus. So now there's a straight line from my fingertips to my pinky side edge of the foot. And a deep stretch in this front inner thigh as well. So just got one more breath here. Then this top hand comes down, we frame the front foot, turn onto the back toes, and step back for plank pose. Like push-up position, straight line from the heels to the crown of the head. Coming forward on tiptoes, shoulders past the wrists, and then option to drop the knees. We're lowering down chaturanga halfway. Elbows don't go past 90 degrees. Tops of the feet flip. We'll press the chest forward for Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Upward facing dog. I swear I didn't make that up. Okay, so the tops of the feet are pressing the ground so hard that my knees and my hips are lifted. Alternately, if you can't get your knees and hips lifted, your thighs are on the ground, just bend your elbows and give your hands kind of like a pull back. So it's like you're pulling your chest towards the wall in front of you instead of towards the ceiling. Yeah, it's just better for your back. You can come into puppy pose. We worked on this a little earlier this week. Hips come over knees and the arms stretch forward. So it's like awesome for your shoulders. So I'm trying to get my armpits to touch down to the ground. Mouth chin or forehead are on the ground. I'm just choosing chin because that way I can still talk to you. The tops of my hands are pressing the ground so hard, it's like I'm trying to lift my elbows. Maybe some days they do, some days they don't. If you still don't feel a deep enough stretch in your shoulders, try to round your lower back like cat pose without giving up any of the other stretches that you've already been working on. So my upper back, chest, throat, head are all pressing towards the ground like in cow pose, and my lower back is trying to round in the spine like cat pose. Hi, welcome everyone. Oh, meditate with me with the raid party. Concerned alligator and Swiss. Hello, my loves. Welcome, welcome. So we're in a pose called puppy pose. It's also known as inchworm. It's deep upper back, chest, and shoulder opening. It's kind of a funny place to show up in class, but you got it. I love it. Hola, hola, bienvenidos. Okay, so here we are in puppy pose. Hips are over knees. Hands are just reaching all the way forward. I'm trying to get my chest to the ground, my armpits to the ground. My armpits are not going to touch the ground. That's just the direction of the energy. And the hands are pressed strong into the earth. As I'm pressing my chest and armpits down, I'm trying to round my lower back to bring even more tension into the shoulders, even more opening. We've just got one more breath here. Nice, and then bringing the hands back for tabletop pose. Toes tuck under, hips press up high for downward facing dog. So the first downward dog of class, maybe of the day. So just give yourself a moment here to bend one knee and then the other, walking out your dog. And then finding the spacing that works for you. So the closer your feet are to your hands, the deeper the stretch in the legs. The farther your feet are from your hands, the deeper the stretch in the shoulders, like you just experienced in puppy pose. Trying to, just like that pose that we were just in, we're trying to get the chest and armpits to the ground. Not that they're going to touch, none of that's the real goal, that's just the direction of the energy of the body. Head is heavy. Eyes stay open. They're looking between the toes or between the knees. And my hips are pressed up towards the sky. Trying to get a straight line from my wrist through my hips. Right? No break in that energy. If this angle is happening for you, we're just pressing the chest down and back. If you're trying and it's just not happening for you, bend the knees a little bit. Lift your heels a little bit. That's going to give you more space to play with the hip rise. Yeah, how was it? Let's see. Introvert raid, I love it. Yeah, how was your session? Meditate with me. How was today's session? All right, last breath here. Then the right leg reaches up and back behind you, toes pointing towards the back wall. We'll bend in the right knee and stack right hip over left hip, three-legged dog. Both arms are straight and strong here, no bend in the elbows. It's a little bit scary to open the hips like this, but you got it. Just lifting the knee towards the sky, and then exhale, tiger pose, rounding in the spine, knee towards nose, come up onto the tiptoes of the left foot, and bring the shoulders over the wrists. Right foot steps up between the hands. Let's see, let's find out. Wait with me. Da, 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 da. Oh, I love it. KDA. KDA is definitely running music. All right, we're dropping this back heel down. So, front heel, if we were to draw a line back, would intersect with the inner arch of this back left foot. Then using a little momentum, left arm sweeps up and open, bringing us to our warrior two. Now the hips are open, facing the other long side of the mat. We're squeezing the glutes to hold the hips open in place, pressing into the pinky side edge of the back foot, into the heel of the front foot, front knee over front ankle. Arms open like the letter T. And we'll find our cow-faced arms. Right arm raises up,
Left arm releases down. Right hand to the back of the head. Back of the left hand to the lower back. I'm pressing into the body to open up the arms, like that. Maybe the hands walk in towards one another, but still we're keeping the elbows open and back. Strong in the legs. Here's the challenge, our reverse warrior. Keeping the knee over the ankle the entire time. Last deep breath in. And exhale. Releasing it down. The right elbow lands on top of the right thigh. Left arm up towards the sky. Good morning, Miss Mango. I appreciate you. All right, left arm's reaching towards the front wall. And option here to release this right hand gently to the ground. Once again, am I dumping all the weight into this wrist? No, you know me better than that. I'm pressing the elbow into the knee into the elbow. So I'm barely even needing the hand to touch the ground for support. Straight line of energy from the pinky side edge of the foot to the fingertips. There's got one more breath here. And then this hand comes down. Come over to frame the front foot. Left foot steps up to meet right foot. Big toes come to touch. A little space between the heels. Inhale, halfway lift. Crown of the head towards the front of the room. Hips towards the back. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale rolls you all the way up. One vertebra at a time. Soft arms. Heavy head comes up last. Arms sweep up when you get there. And exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Return to face one another for our balance portion. HON has prepped you. I don't know if that message was for me. All right. So we're bringing the weight. Oh, here's the storm. Cool. So all of the weight's going to come into this right foot, and we're going to pull, just lift up the left knee. So we're standing one-legged tadasana. Fingers come around the knee, and we're just going to pull the knee in towards this left shoulder. So my shoulders are completely relaxed. If I'm using arm strength, it's bicep strength, not shoulder scrunching towards my ears, creating migraines later in my life strength, right? So it's almost like a balancing wind relieving pose, yeah? Finding a drishti, a focal point where it's not going to move. And I'm going to release this leg back down to 90 degrees. So from the side, 90 degrees. Right hand comes to the outside of this leg like I'm holding it. And then the left arm opens up behind you. Maybe the eyes go with you. That's like super balance challenge is changing your drishti where your eyes are. So your eyes can have stayed forward looking at the wall in front of you. Yeah. So all of this is just practice. Just allowing it to be. No matter where you're at, there's always something after. There's always like some crazy freaking way to make it more and more complicated. Wherever you're at is just perfect. And where you're at is beginning again and again and again, and that's your practice. Then there's other stuff in your life that you probably have to continuously begin again, and you get to practice being okay with that here. Coming back through center. Opposite hand, right hand, comes to land on the inside of the thigh, and we're going to open this knee out to the side. So from the front. It's almost like Captain Morgan pose. Yeah? This hand comes out to counterbalance. We're just breathing here. It's the same deal. There's always like some yogi toe lock chaos. There's no end point. There's no end point wherever you're at. And don't mean that to sound defeatingly, like you'll never get there. Like there's nowhere to get. You're just here now, and that's awesome. Then we'll bring the knee through center and float it down. Take a moment. This right foot really wants to get shaken out right now. You're just going to give it a moment to rest. And give this hip a moment to rest instead. And then decide, do you still want to shake this foot out? Go ahead. Yeah? We're just doing it purposefully instead of automatically. All the weight goes into this opposite leg. Into the left leg. And the right knee comes up 90 degrees. Fingers interlaced below the knee. And then using just bicep strength, no shoulders. Knees pulling in towards that right armpit. The standing leg is strong. I'm allowing for little micro movements to happen in my foot that are going to kind of course correct. Yeah? I'm not bringing my chest to my thighs. I'm bringing my thigh to my chest. And that's kind of a nice place to roll out the ankle too. I'm just gazing at a point ahead of me, a drishti, a focal point, somewhere that's not going to move. So the screen, knee, not the best drishti. Kind of always in motion. Even in stillness, I'm breathing, right? Then we'll let the leg come out 90 degrees. Turn to the side. Okay, down 90 degrees. Left hand lands on the outside of this knee to give it a little support. And the right arm opens up to the side. So we're in our Supta Matsyendrasana, but standing. What did I say? That pose is going to come up again and again today. We're just bringing some nice love to our lower back. All right, now we're working on balancing. And still we're breathing. So always there is the multitask here. If you went for that like leg extension, just grabbing the pinky side edge of the foot, working on that extension. You can even work on that in a reclining version today, and I can lead you through that today. I'm working on it all month. And gently coming back through center. And then the right hand is on the inside of the right thigh. And as this knee opens up, open, right? Like two panes of glass, totally flat. No, turn for you. You're not turning. I'm just turning so I can show you. This left arm opens up opposite. Nice and strong here. If you played with the yogi toe lock on the other side, you can balance it out here. Whatever variation you're in. If you fall out of it, just resetting. There's value in beginning again. There's value in the resiliency of perceived failure. There's no failure actually in class because there's no test. It's not really class, it's really practice. The resiliency of beginning again in the face of perceived failure is a strength that can be honed here. All right, we're gonna come back in reverse, like pressing rewind, back through center. Let that leg go. Resist the urge to shake this out automatically. And then as a reward, we're gonna shake everything out, baby. Oh yeah. Johnny Sins on YouTube. Hello, good morning, namaste. All levels yoga. Nice, welcome. Every day, same time, same place. You're always welcome. You're kicking out the legs. Cool. So, lymphatic shaking is all about bringing this jiggle to the body. You do that by hopping, so letting the arms hang heavy, flop around. The heels lift, and as they drop down, the impact with bent knees gives a reverberation for the body, and that's what we're going with here. So that's what we're trying to cultivate, building up some heat, a little bit of increased heart rate. We just got this whole nice jiggle going. When you're like, okay, I'm sick of this, I don't want to do it anymore, just like 2x the speed. Shake the hands. So we're shaking out all of this tension. It's a drain for the lymphatic system. You can be breathing through your mouth now. Like all class, you've been breathing through your nose. That's awesome. And now here you can just let that go. Audible sighs are encouraged. We're going to come into our 4-part breath, our breath of joy. So it looks like this. It's a 4-part breath. On the inhale, my arms sweep forward, and it's just 1/3 of my lung capacity in, then 1/3 of my lung capacity in on a second sip of air in, arms open out to the sides. My wall's all weird from the storm. And then a last sip of air in, arms sweep forward, and a big ha. On the way out, the arms sweep back, belly towards the thighs. Yeah? So it looks like this. Sip of air in, sip of air in, sip of air in, ha! Got 10 of those. Just yelling at the top of your lungs. The best, to what feels good for you. In, in. No exhales in between. In, ha! In, 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 ha! In, ha! 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 3 more if you haven't joined in yet. This is your chance. Ha! Ha! Last one, make it count. Ha! Okay. Legs come nice and wide. Hand to the belly, hand to the heart. Let your eyes close or lower. And just take a moment here to notice what was created. Higher heart rate, higher body temperature. What else shows up for you? Taking the snow globe that is your body and giving it a righteous shake. And now we observe where all that glitter dust falls, where it settles, what is revealed. What shows up for you when you truly let yourself go, when you let yourself shake and scream and breathe? What resistance shows up to stop you from going all in? Whose judgment are you fearing? gently blink the eyes open. You can grab a sip of water, towel off if you built up some sweat. Rearranging, you don't have to. Attention, tornado in the room detected from that last exercise. I love it. I love it. All right, if you're already on the ground, you already know. Just stay there. We'll meet you. If not, let's come down together. Big toes come to touch. Arms sweep up overhead. Deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, hands on shins. And exhale, knees bend deep, 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 so deep. And we come to sit. If you do not have that control, bring your hands behind you to sit so you don't break your collarbone, which is like top 3 most common yoga injuries. So let's just avoid that altogether. Yeah? Cool. So we're gonna turn to, I'm turning, you don't have to turn. We're gonna hug the knees in and then just give a roll back. Little rock side to side. Let the feet come down close to the hips, hands release down. It doesn't really matter if the fingers touch the feet or not, that's kind of the direction of the body. We're going to tuck the shoulders under, give a tuck to the hips so that your lower back presses into the ground. And then like our forward fold, we rise one vertebra at a time. We're doing that here. The hips rise, lower back follows, middle back, upper back. Then I have to tuck my shoulders under, maybe the fingers interlace. And I'm pressing my arms into the ground to give even more stability to this. Glutes squeeze tight, hips rise, Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. Gaze stays up towards the ceiling, try to avoid turning it to look at the screen. I know I just did it, and that's probably why I have chronic neck problems. So we're avoiding moving the head in this pose at all. There's a little bit of a natural choke to the throat as the chest gets pressed up. And that's fine. We're still learning to breathe fully, even with a throat constriction, even through discomfort. Pressing high in the hips. Another deep breath here. And then releasing the interlace of the hands, untuck the shoulders, and we roll down one vertebra at a time, pressing my hips down and towards my heels to elongate the spine. Feet come to touch. I'm just going to let my knees splay open to the side and raise my arms up overhead. Supta Baddha Konasana, supine bound angle pose. So I'm just giving myself a stretch out here and release. So just like complete surrender. Every exhale just melts away anything that is holding you into a pose or shape. Knees come back together, they come in towards the chest and gently drop over to the right. Right hand comes to land on top of the left knee, left arm opens up to the side. Supta Matsujasana. Reclining spinal twist. This is for everyone whose lower back gives them issues. We've been working on this movement, this twisting movement throughout class today. This is like the culmination. And it's just relaxing, just letting gravity do the work. Let your breath and gravity work for you. Only effort here is my left shoulder pressing down towards the ground. Head comes up through center, knees come up through center. We'll gently release the knees over to the left. Left hand comes onto the right knee, Right arm opens up like the letter T. It's not up overhead. It's not down by the hips. It's straight out. Gaze can look over the right hand to give the neck an equal stretch. And the whole body is relaxed. It doesn't matter if the knees touch the ground. It doesn't matter if the knees touch one another. There's no pulling or yanking. It's just like wherever your body lands here is just right for this moment in today's practice. That it is what it is. There's nowhere to go. Nowhere to go but here. No one to be but you. Head comes up through center. Knees come up through center. Give the knees a hug in and just notice, is there any last movement or wiggle or stretch that your body's calling for that would round out your practice, that would make you feel like you've addressed all the parts of your body that called out for you during that first body scan, and just roll through it. It doesn't have to look any certain type of way. It doesn't even have to have a fancy yoga name or any name at all. You just be making it up. Yeah, just some intuitive movement. And making whatever preparation is necessary for Savasana, final relaxation pose. So that might be putting on socks, placing a blanket over your body, as your body temperature will lower in this next pose. And Shavasana, corpse pose, the actual posture, looks like legs down the length of the mat. Feet at least a foot apart, legs so relaxed that the ankles naturally splay open. If laying flat on your back brings any pain to your lower back, so we're talking about lower back pain today, because a couple of you guys reached out about suffering from that, then we're going to want to keep the knees bent. How do we do that? We place a pillow or a rolled up towel below the knees. If you don't have a prop, don't feel like getting up to get one, bend the knees, feet come out the distance of your mat, and drop the knees into the center, broken bridge. I'm not using any muscle strength here. I'm just letting the knees knock together, and then I lift the hips like in bridge pose to lengthen the lower back. So the arch is what causes a lot of your pain, so is slouching, but here we just want to be nice and neutral. Alright, alternately, the legs are just down long, the arms release down by the sides, at least 6 inches from the body, palms face open, a symbol, a mudra of receptivity. Allow your body to receive the benefits of its effort here today. Head is centered. I like giving my chin a little tuck in so that my neck gets even a little bit more length. I like tucking my shoulders under so my chest feels open and the eyes closed if that's comfortable. Alternately, the gaze can be up towards the ceiling, towards the sky with a soft gaze. Staying here in this positioning, I'm going to come up to seated so that I can play you some singing bowls and lead you through this meditation without yelling from the floor. Yeah? We'll start this meditation just as we did our last, with 3 cleansing breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Cannot stress the importance and just the joy that comes with the audible side part of this. So, like, the louder, more dramatic you can make it, the more satisfying it's going to be. So, just, that's the invitation. Take it or leave it. And allow the breathing to continue just in and out through the nose if that's available. Inviting your exhalations to become longer and deeper than your inhalations. Every exhale sinking you deeper and heavier into the ground below. Invite space between top and bottom teeth as the jaw hangs heavy and tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. As all the muscles in the jaw, cheeks, and lips relax. Muscles around the nose and nostrils relax, allowing air to gently pass through like waves lapping up to shore. Eyes rest heavy in their sockets, eyelids just barely touching. And the space between the eyebrows broadens as the muscles in the forehead relax. The muscles surrounding the ears, even the effort entering in the ear canals, it all rests. As does the muscles in the back of the head and top of the head. Neck and throat release. Shoulders melt away. The space between the shoulder blades and the shoulder blades themselves relax. Upper arms and elbows release. Forearms and wrists rest. And the palms, backs of the hands, knuckles, fingers, fingertips, whole hands alive with vibration. Whole hands alive with creative potential. Rest and integrate all that you practice. Upper back, middle, and lower back rest heavy. Chest gently, perhaps imperceptibly, rises and falls. Belly naturally rising and falling. And hips rest heavy. Pelvis, glutes, grounded and supported by the earth below. Thighs and knees melt away. Lower legs and ankles relax. Heels, arches, toe ball mounds.
tops of the feet and all of the toes relax. Whole body rests. Whole body rests. Whole body rests. Allow for everything that did and did not happen in class today. And know that in yoga, practice makes practice. Nothing more, nothing less. Invite your inhalations to deepen and become longer than your exhalations. Every inhale brings you towards the surface, front side of the body, those feelings of heaviness replaced with feelings of expansion and openness. As we begin to invite movement back into the body. Fingers begin to wiggle, toes begin to curl, and the head can gently rock side to side. Arms reach up overhead for a full body stretch. And let the knees bend and roll over to whichever side feels natural, landing gently in a fetal position. Fully relaxed, fully supported by the ground below you. You can even use that bottom arm as a pillow. And bring to mind any intention or dedication you set for class. Invitation to set one now. And if that intention inspires you, take it with you off the mat and into the world. Allow it to affect you and the people around you for the rest of your day. Gently with eyes still closed or gently lowered, press your hands into the ground to come up to a seated position, just like how we started class. Hands come to meet at heart center in Anjali Mudra. Today we worked on opening up the feet, the nervous system all the way down to the feet, as well as some deep shoulder stretches through cow face arms, through puppy pose. The first namaste is said silently to yourself, thanking your body for the effort it put into class. And the second namaste is said out loud to everyone that held this space. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who joined me today. Namaste, Swiss. I appreciate you. I hope you found something that serves you. Truly do. Namaste, Richney, Odie. Namaste, M9 Easy. Namaste. Namaste, Oya Hydrangea. What a sweet group today. I like this. I'm really grateful of this community that is forming here. Yeah. Oh, and thank you so much, Raiders. Any Raiders who are still here. I was in puppy pose, which is like a super awkward pose to be caught in. But thank you so much, Meditate With Me, and Meditate With Me's community. You guys just, yeah. You came during like a high energy part of class though too, so it was nice to actually rolling with it. To everyone on Facebook, thank you as well. Your names don't come up unless you comment or like, but I can see how many of you guys are watching, so I just wanted to say I appreciate you, and I do hope, I know at least one person was here the entire time, so thank you to you guys as well. And yeah, I'm really appreciative of everyone here on Twitch who's been really supportive and coming to practice with me and introducing me to other people in the community. Swiss. Yeah, and let's see, on YouTube. No, I've never visited India. The closest I've ever gotten to India was Japan. India is definitely on the list once traveling is a thing again, for sure. We have some family there, yeah. I'm not easy, you already know. I have jasmine green tea today. So I always follow class with some tea time and just connect. Yeah. How's everyone feeling? How was class for everyone today? It was like slow entrance in the beginning, and then we kind of like picked it up, heated it up a little bit, you know. So M9 Easy and Swiss. I know you guys weren't here. I'm pretty sure you guys weren't here when I was mentioning, but I'm traveling today. Oh yeah, that's got good energy now. Oh yeah, baby. I have a little tea heater to keep my tea warm, but I never bring it into here because it's on my desk, like in my painting studio. My painting studio, which is also the living room and my husband's stream station and the dining room and the kitchen. But yes, my painting studio because it sounds way fancier. Oh,
Husband.
Hello.
Husband.
Husbando.
I'm in your chat.
This is him.
Hi.
This is Daydream Boy.
It is I.
It is I. Yeah. That's where my my little tea warmer is. So it's always like iced tea by the time I get to it at the end of class, but it's all good. Are you drinking tea today? M9 Easy, what do you got going on? You said you like... Thanks, mods. That's for you. You my mod. You my mod, and Oya Hydrangea are my mod. Hello and namaste to Daydream Boy.
Hello, namaste.
Hello. Yes. Yes, thank you. Oya, you're the best. Yes, so when it comes to tips, I do appreciate any tips towards the stream. They go towards lighting, towards internet connection, towards my Spotify, what's it called, membership, and all that. It's very, very appreciated. $5 does give you a recording to class, and the link to that is in the chat right now, as well Venmo at Samuel St. Pierre, which is my name, which is his last name. That's how marriage works sometimes. It doesn't have to. That was anti-feminist. But
that was on you. It's cool though. It's a cool name.
My name sounds nice with an S last name. Samuel St. Pierre, like rolls off the tongue.
It's royal.
So yeah, appreciated. Yeah.
Sounds like you guys had a great class.
I did. I mean, I never really know exactly how it was going for everybody else, but yeah, I did. Goes to Studio 1, yoga, or Studio 2, living room. Yes,
I was just in
exactly.
Studio 2 setting up for stream later today, and then I was like, I heard husband, and so I came running in.
Yeah, and this room is also our bedroom, so, you know, we have Transformer like transformer rooms.
All
Yeah, it's
functioning.
basically 2 studios, and then we use it for other things. Like the main function is a studio, and the secondary function is, I guess, a living room is what people call it, and then this is the bedroom. This stuff.
This is the yoga studio, and then we happen to sleep in it.
Yeah.
That
Oh.
is the painting studio, and we happen to eat food in it.
Right.
And we don't have a TV, so
We don't have a TV. We only have.
we just have a couch facing his stream station, so that Lucy and I can hang out on stream with him. What is it? Oh, you should give a shout out. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays,
Who, me?
2 p.m. Pacific. Your stream.
Oh yeah, Monday,
were
Wednesday,
asking-
Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 2 p.m. to 7ish Pacific. That's 5 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Right now I'm playing Control. I actually got this really great idea for Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah.